Hey, this is King David, David and Goliath Music, Guardiac.com. Okay, so did you hear about 50 Cent? He was hospitalized. Um, they released him. I'm just wondering how much of that is connected to his album getting ready to come out on July 3rd. Actually, July 3rd, right. So, just questioning. So, anyhow, we didn't call it gossip, but I check out what's happening in the music industry and what's happening with the artists and how they market. As an independent artist myself, you have to really, really think like a major in order to have major results, right? And there's a lot of tricks and marketing tricks and publicity stunts that go on right around the time that records are released. So let me know what you think. 50 Cent hospitalized. Is this legitimate? Is it part of a marketing campaign? It's not too hard for a man with all that wealth to stage a car accident that didn't really hurt anybody. Now, if the car was totaled and it was something for real, then I would definitely think it's legitimate. But since it was such a light incident and it earned him some publicity trending. So that's pretty smart, isn't it? What do you think? All right, enough of that gossip crap. If you guys have anything to say about the 50 Cent hospitalization and car accident, and whether you think it's connected to a marketing ploy for his album, go ahead and leave your comments down below. For now, let's get down to business and why you came here, and that's for music production. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do what I call a double mix. What it is I mix it first in one DAW or one platform, and then I export it and mix it again in another platform. Some of the reasons why I'll talk to you about towards the end. I'm mixing the song I'm Sinatra, I'm So Sinatra, and hopefully most of you have heard it. If not, go and listen to it. It's a couple videos back that I did. And what I'm going to do again is I'm going to take the files from FL Studio, export them, import them into the new software, and then begin mixing again. So it's going to be really cool. And I want to kind of show you how it's done, alright? So let's get started. What we want to do now is go to File, go down to Export, and we're going to export, as we normally do, WAV file. Make sure we do WAV file, not MP3. The reason why is because the quality level is going to be higher in a WAV file. We pick a location where we want to save this mix, then we hit Save. Now what we're going to do is make sure that under the Options tab here that we have selected Split Mixer Tracks. All these other options, other than delay compensation, you can keep those blank except for delay compensation. Alright, we're going to resample at the highest point sync rate, which is 512. It's going to be slower, it's going to render slower, but we're going to get a higher quality. We're going to also mix down to a 32-bit float. So now what we're doing is producing the highest possible quality that we can send out. A bit rate is not going to matter unless we're mixing down to MP3 file. Okay, and then we're going to hit background rendering. Boom, we hit background rendering, and just like those cooking shows, miraculously you're going to have all of the files just going to be dumped in the same order that you have them through the mixer channel. So what does that mean? So every mixer channel that you have audio going through is going to be separated. It's very important that each and every one of your channels has a separate mixer channel if you want to use this process, okay? Because if it's going through the mains, you're going to miss some of your audio. When you try and bring it back together in another software, it's not going to work. Alright, so let's bring it back together in Adobe Audition, alright? Okay, so now bringing these into Adobe Audition is really simple. We want to make sure that we're in multi-track mode. When you're in multi-track mode, you're going to have to give the session some kind of name, so you can name it whatever you want to name it. In this case, it's going to be Sinatra. I go to the folder where I exported the split mixer tracks from FL Studio, and I do that through the File / Import File selection here. Okay. Once I've done that, I go and find where I store that information. Now I stored it on one of my drives. I look for the Sinatra files. There they are. And these are all of the outputs of all of the mixer channels that I saved in FL Studio. Okay, so once I have extracted all my files, I can see I have all my files here. The ones that have the the little time, what looks like a clock there, it means that it's still importing that file. I can just go ahead to the ones that don't have that circle, hit my control button, select the ones that don't have that circle, and import them into the multi-track. See where it says insert into multi-track? And then I can add it to whatever session that I want. So once I do that, now all I have to do is pull them into the right time so that they start and stop at the same time. And so I select all my waves, make sure they're starting at the same time. Now the ones that have that little circle means that they're not going to play right. So we don't want to play with them if they don't want to play with us. How's that? And I'm moving these waveforms over. Right now it's showing me 28 tracks, which means I have a couple more than I need. So I have to really investigate that and find out what's going on. And I'll hit playback and see what we got, what kind of mix we got going on. All right. Okay, so obviously now we have a brand new mix over here. Okay, so what we learned real quickly was that you can actually do a double mix. You can mix in one platform, DAW, and then migrate it to another platform and then mix it again using different tools. Having a bigger screen to work with, the mixer on FL Studio can be stretched as well. This gives me a different look at my audio, and then gives me a second chance to listen for any upgrades or changes or minor changes that I may want to make. I could actually come up with a completely different mix. So I just wanted to share some of these techniques with you. You can also get the hour tutorial that I'll be doing on beatclass.com, which will give you a much more in-depth and detailed process on how this is done and how you can apply it and use this tool. Or you can get on Skype and we can do a 1 hour live lesson there. You know how to get that going. Just go to beatclass.com. Or come to guardiac.com. There's just so many ways. There's so many ways. All right. King David, David and Goliath Music, guardiac.com, beatclass.com, mastermybeat.com, and I'm just .com'd out. So I'll highlight you guys later. All right. Peace. One love.